To better educate and inspire the young generations of networking through startup companies, Amazon.com has launched Amazon Web Services Startup Day 2018. For this purpose, Metro TV was invited to attend the event and meet with the Chief Technology Officer of the web company, Dr. Werner Vogels. Ajahn Kamarati had the pleasure of speaking with him and find out more about digital transformation in Indonesia.
Dr. Werner, we're going to know a lot about the AWS. Tell me about it.
Oh, so AWS is the cloud computing division of Amazon.com. About 14 years ago, we looked at sort of the whole IT space and saw that companies were spending way too much time on managing their IT infrastructure, both from a human perspective as well from a capital perspective. So we launched a range of services that we had developed for ourselves already in the area of compute and storage and databases and technologies like that. We were the pioneer of that approach, and what we've seen now after 14 years is that possibly every startup in the world or every SME and definitely all enterprises are now starting to make use of cloud computing because it allows them to be much more cost effective, much more reliable, get better performance and get all these advantages that you would want so that they can focus on things that really matter to them instead of having to manage.
So it has been operating a lot in Indonesia as well?
Yeah, from almost day one we had quite a few of our customers here from Indonesia, mostly because they were not only targeting the Indonesian market but maybe a worldwide market. So this cloud computing is built out of what's called regions, that are clusters of data centers where all these servers live. The closest by for here is in Singapore, but we have them in Japan and we have them in India and in China and South America and so all over the world. So there's quite a few Indonesian companies, for example, that target European or target Japanese customers. And for them, this is ideal to make use of because they no longer have to do contracts with data center providers and build things. Once you've built it for one region, one click of a button, you can serve customers anywhere in the world.
So it simplifies everything that is complicated before.
Yes, and also it does make, not only simplifies it, it also means that for many companies, especially young businesses, after all we hear at the startup day, so they can really focus on the product they want to build. Instead of that, they have to hire lots of engineers to keep these servers and the lights on and things like that, or do data center negotiations or network contracts. All of those things have disappeared.
So it supports anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur to do startups easier.
Absolutely. If you look at sort of before AWS came into the market, a typical digital startup that would require, let's say, a starting capital about $5 million. These days, $50,000 and a box of ramen is enough for any startup to launch a product because they no longer need to have this massive capital to hire personnel and to buy servers that they actually don't need. And so also because you need to, often in those older days, you need to buy a lot more because you never know how popular you're going to get. One of the advantages of the whole cloud computing space is that it's elastic. Yeah, you want 100,000 tomorrow? That's no problem for anyone.
So it helps a lot, and then how this supports the digital transformation that has been existing in Indonesia?
Yeah, so the digital transformation that we see here at many of the enterprises are sort of a necessity, because without that, these younger businesses will come and eat your cheese. Yeah, and so for many companies, I think digital transformation has three pillars. Yeah, one of them is all around culture. Yeah, it is not just a matter that you wake up one morning and say, oh, now I'm going to be an innovative company. Yeah, if you've been a very conservative one. So you need to change the culture. You need to start thinking about what are the principles around innovation that I would like to drive. The second one is then organization. You need to change the organization in your company so that you can move faster. You can become more nimble, that your teams are smaller, that they are more, that they have more self-control over where they need to go. And then the third piece is technology. Yeah, making sure that you can have any type of technology at your fingertips. And most of that technology in digital transformation these days probably focuses on data analytics, making use of analytics and techniques such as machine learning to help them really capitalize on the data that these companies have. One thing that cloud computing has done is that it has made the whole world, IT world, completely egalitarian, meaning that everybody now has access to the same compute storage, databases, machine learning, analytics. They all have, everybody has access to the same thing. So what differentiates companies then is the data that they have and how smart they are with the data. Now in the whole industry 4.0 direction that many of the Southeast Asian companies, countries are looking for, they're looking to generate more of that data, whether it's through the Internet of Things, by instrumenting factory floors and supply chains and things like that, to get better insight in how your company is actually working. So you then use data to think about new products, or safety and efficiency, or how can I serve my customers better? And so all these data collection on a cloud computing environment with all the analytics tools that we give helps customers, helps our companies really go through this digital transformation really fast.
But seeing the fact in Indonesia, and you see already the growth of digital transformation, what do you think about the future of Indonesia?
The future of Indonesia, I think the future of Indonesia is extremely bright. I think,
you think
yeah,
so?
no, I think so. I think quite a number of the economies, I think, in Southeast Asia, I think, if I look, for example, at Thailand and Vietnam as well, they're more or less in the same boat. Yeah, I think you have a very strong educational system, delivering great engineers and delivering great entrepreneurs. Another thing that I've seen about Indonesia, that's probably unique for Indonesia itself, such a strong culture of small and medium businesses. Yeah, and if you look at that, former generations were already entrepreneurs. And with entrepreneurs, I don't mean the type that sits in Silicon Valley, but your parents may have a small shoe shop.
Yeah,
or
you do
or
things.
And they do things. They have their own business. And so younger Indonesians, they don't feel this barrier of sort of entrepreneurship. Yes, of course you can start your own business. But I see that Indonesian entrepreneurs, for a very large part, are not necessarily interested in becoming the next unicorn, the next billion-dollar company.
Oh, this mindset
they're looking for building a sustainable company. Something that actually can last 10 or 20 or 30 years and give them a good living. And so cloud computing, again, works really well because you can control your cost and you scale really well and sort of really manage your environment quite good. Of course, unicorns also run on AWS, but that's a different story. But uniquely for Indonesia, I think, is this focus on is that an entrepreneur is a normal thing here in Indonesia, and we support them in that.